Welcome to News Lounge. I'm Anna Fleetwood.
And I'm Tom Hartley. Good morning.
And our newsman, or our sports newsman, and our weather girl, our favourite weather girl in the whole wide world, Connor Tobin. What have you got in store for us today, Connor?
Good morning, guys. Well, coming up in sport, the NRL is under increased pressure to give Courtney Olsen the flick. She's the wife of Titans Chief Executive David May, due to a controversial past, and it looks like Libby Trickett won't be giving up swimming anytime soon. But that's all coming up in the sports wrap.
That looks very exciting. It looks like it's going to be a great show as always. We've also got Frederick Stark from the Australian Youth Climate Coalition joining us in the middle segment to talk about online activism.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great segment, one you should all stay tuned for. But right now it's time to go to the woman who puts the news in News Lounge, Rebecca Wilson. How are you, Beck?
I'm great, thanks. Great to be here for another week of News Lounge. Making news today, Monday the 3rd of December 2012. A survey has shown more than half of Queensland voters are disgruntled with the Newman government. The poll questioned 1,138 Queenslanders and found 54% were dissatisfied with the LNP. 75% believed the government had failed in its promise to protect frontline jobs. The same number of residents also showed their opposition to the privatisation of government services. President of the Queensland Council of Unions, John Batmas, said the poll showed our concern about the current government. A 21-year-old man has been charged with the murder of Jordan Matahari Taki, who died in a hit-and-run outside a house party in Brisbane. Police say over 100 people were at a party along Station Road in Woodridge when a fight erupted and spilled onto the street. Jordan was hit by a vehicle during the brawl and later died in hospital. The man will face court today with charges of murder and dangerous operation of a motor vehicle. A time capsule enclosing messages from Brisbane residents will be placed in Brisbane City Hall following its $215 million restoration. City Hall will reopen in 2013, 3 years after restoration works began. The time capsule offers Brisbaneites the chance to leave behind part of their legacy by including a photo and message within the capsule. 87-year-old Murray resident Roma Barton is enclosing a book of memoirs about her life during the Great Depression. Residents can contribute to the time capsule by uploading a photo and short story to the Brisbane City Council website. Police are searching for a Caucasian couple after a woman was assaulted during an attempted carjacking in Ipswich. The woman sustained minor injuries when the male and female offenders tried to remove her from the car. After the couple were unable to start the car, they stole another vehicle. They were last seen driving a white Subaru Liberty along Brisbane Road towards the Ipswich CBD. Royal North Shore Hospital will soon have a new type of employee wandering around its halls, and it's in the form of a robot. New South Wales Health Minister Gillian Skinner announced that the hospital will be the first to receive the robots in Australia, which will help transport food, linen and other supplies. Ms Skinner said that the robots will not only assist staff to complete tasks more efficiently and without the risk of painful injuries, but the robots also reduce cross-contamination of goods during transport. A 21-year-old man has been charged with serious assault after punching a police officer in the face at Fortitude Valley. The officer, who had been patrolling the entertainment precinct, was taken to St Andrews Hospital and received stitches. The charged man will face Brisbane Magistrates Court today. A new reform plan for the electricity sector has been unveiled by the Gillard government. The reforms aim to help householders save up to $250 a year on their power bills. Other additions include a consumer challenge panel that will allow consumers a greater say in regulating power prices, increased funding for the Australian Energy Regulator, as well as rewarding companies who ease power usage in peak hours. Ms Gillard says the plan will go ahead even if Queensland chooses not to privatise the electricity sector. Australian officials are currently in the process of negotiating a deal with Indian-based infrastructure company the Adani Group to create the largest coal mining program in Australia. Federal Resources Minister Martin Ferguson and Queensland Premier Campbell Newman recently travelled to India to formalise the $10 billion deal with the group, which will create 4,000 long-term jobs. A parliamentary committee has called for all alcoholic drinks to carry a health warning for pregnant women. Graham Perrett, chairman of the Social Policy and Legal Affairs Committee, submitted a report about the fetal alcohol spectrum disorders and its effect on pregnant women. He claims that symptoms are expressed through physical, intellectual, behavioural and social abnormalities with regards to communication, attention and memory skills. The committee want this policy to mirror the successful smoking campaign implemented by the government. 2 people have been seriously injured after an LPG gas bottle exploded at a charity Christmas event in Brisbane. The Christmas by Starlight event in Redland was on Saturday afternoon when a 67-year-old female and 55-year-old man suffered burns to their legs and body. Both are now in a stable condition. Here's one for the tech gurus out there. Brisbane has reasserted itself at the top of the Australian gaming industry following the partnership between local developer Halfbrick and user analyst Other Levels. Halfbrick Studio are behind the hit phone app Fruit Ninja, a fruit slicing game which made $1 million a month through downloads. The 4-person team has joined forces with US messaging analyst Other Levels to develop ways to improve user services. In Sunnybank Hills, a man has allegedly used a syringe to rob a convenience store at 10:15 p.m. on Saturday. The robber fled the store after the shopkeeper handed over cash. According to witnesses, the robber had a solid build with his face covered by a hat. Astronomers have discovered a black hole with a mass 17 billion times larger than the Sun. Named NGC 1277, the black hole is located in a small galaxy 220 million light-years away and takes nearly a seventh of the galaxy's mass. Scientists from the Austin University of Texas say because of its size relative to the galaxy, it challenges aspects of the galactic black hole theory. That's all for the news today, and now back to you guys.
Thanks, Beck. Well, that black hole mightn't have been a bad place to be if it was any cooler than Brisbane on the weekend.
I'm not too sure about that, Anna. I've never been in a black hole myself, and I don't plan on being one there anytime soon.
Well, that's good to hear, Tom, but now it's time for the weather, so we'll find out if it's going to be any cooler for us in the coming week.
Well, unfortunately not, guys. The warmer weather continues today. Brisbane will be partly cloudy with possible late showers and a thunderstorm. There will also be light to moderate northeasterly winds with a max of 33 degrees in the city and a bit cooler, 31 on the Bayside. The Golden Sunshine Coast are also in for a late shower and thunderstorm, maximum temperatures of 31 and 32 respectively there. Late showers and thunderstorms again for Ipswich with a top of 36. They're also on high fire alert. Around the state, Cairns will be fine and sunny with a top of 33. Townsville will reach 33, mostly fine and sunny there as well. Mackay is going to be fine and sunny with a top of 32. A possible late shower and storm for Rocky with a top of 35. Mount Isa will be fine and a scorching 43 degrees max. And in other capital cities around the nation, Sydney will have a morning shower and a max of 25. A shower in Melbourne and 22. Canberra will be partly cloudy and 26. Perth mostly sunny and 33. Adelaide a shower or two developing with a top of 21. A shower or two for Hobart developing and 20. In Darwin they can expect a shower or storm and a top of 35. Emergency services are warning Brisbane residents to slip, slop, slap ahead of tomorrow's heat wave. The Bureau of Meteorology are predicting a top of 39 degrees. Paramedics are also urging Queenslanders to take caution during the scorching heat. So I guess, guys, it's drink plenty of water and be sun smart, I guess.
Definitely. I'll be having my sunnies and my full body attire on tomorrow, I think.
Well, absolutely. This weekend just gone, I was sunburnt for the first time in my life, so I'll be staying indoors this coming week. But right now it's time to go to the break, but please don't go away. When we come back, we'll be speaking with Fred Stark about online activism. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to News Lounge. Well, today a decent part of our lives are lived online. In fact, about a quarter of us spend more time on the internet than we do in our own beds, believe it or not.
These are astonishing facts, but however, it is true. So it's not.
He's on the internet right now.
Exactly. I can't get enough. So it's not surprising now that we're actually seeing a lot of our campaigning and protesting come online as well, with websites such as GetUp, Change.org, etc., acting as a catalyst for change.
Absolutely, and today we're joined by Fred Stark. He's the online coordinator and the Queensland coordinator of the Australian Youth Climate Coalition. And he's here to talk to us about how the internet is fast becoming the activists' most powerful tool. Welcome to News Lounge, Fred.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us firstly, what is online activism?
So online activism is about taking your grievances online, whether that's with a business or with the government. We obviously focus around climate change, which targets government, but there's definitely scope for targeting businesses as well.
Definitely. So when did we see this boom in online activism?
Probably started around 1998 in the US, when a Democratic committee started moveon.org, which has moved on to do all sorts of progressive campaigning on gay rights as well as politics and all those sorts of things.
And how successful were those original online campaigns?
The online campaign sort of took a while to grow because not everybody was on the internet back then. Facebook and Twitter didn't exist. But since Facebook and Twitter, things have really taken off and it's a whole different ballgame now.
Yeah, definitely.
So with the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, how does it make use of the online platform?
So we have over 80,000 online members and they receive email updates, and a lot of them like our page on Facebook as well and get updates through there. The different email streams sort of target what people want out of our organisation, and so people who want to get involved in really rapid action and call their politicians will get those emails. It's mostly about moving people to take action in reality from an online engagement.
Definitely. So what are the sort of benefits of campaigning online rather than just being out and about?
The reach. Lots of people are forming new communities online that they just weren't able to do offline because of physical separation and things like that, but now people are connecting like never before online, and so it's a huge opportunity to take our campaigns into those networks.
Definitely.
So we're obviously still seeing a lot of protests in the street, a lot of sit-ins. We saw the Occupy Wall Street just over a year ago. Is online activism really taking over from those traditional forms of activism?
I think that online activism is complementing offline activism in the traditional forms because it enables us to reach more people, to bring them to offline things, but it also makes us reach a larger audience. More people are activists now than ever before, even self-identified, just because they take action online, sign petitions, send emails to their politicians, and those sorts of things. And it's a huge opportunity for us to bring them to offline actions where they can have a bigger impact.
So which is more powerful, online or offline?
Online can definitely have a huge impact, as we've seen with current movements like Destroy the Joint, where they've used nothing but online means to target businesses that support misogynist practices and basically take them down a notch. But my heart is definitely in offline organising, and I believe that's where the real power to create change is.
Definitely. So why do you think there's more power in offline campaigning?
Because people understand that it takes more effort to get out into the street than it does to click on a petition or send an email. Yep. If you go and visit your politician at their office and have a chat with them, they're going to take you a lot more seriously than if you send them an email.
So are you then saying that, well, for instance, on that, if I was to sign a petition that said I support gay marriage, do you think it would be better if I'd written a letter to someone perhaps about same-sex marriage rather than just signing a petition?
It'd definitely be better, but I don't want to discount the value of signing an online petition. It's a great first step. Every great campaign starts with a petition, and every bad campaign ends with one. So petition is a great first step to show that support, and then you can move it on from there.
So has there been a petition to end a petition ever?
There probably has. There are so many petitions at the moment that I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the biggest examples we've seen recently with online activism was the Coney campaign, and I think people might remember that. It went gangbusters over the internet.
It really did.
But did it get too big? There was a backlash against it.
Yeah, it definitely got a bit too big. I like to avoid saying too big though, because big is what you need to be to win. I think the problem with the Coney campaign was that they didn't have all of their integrity and transparency organised before they got big, and they didn't have a plan for the backlash that they experienced.
So how do you plan for backlash?
You just sort of put yourself in the shoes of I guess, your opposition and think, if this gets really big, what kind of negative response could I get and how can I react to that? A great example of a positive reaction to a backlash is when GetUp recently were targeting pokey reform, and that didn't really work, so they went to Woolworths and got their members to call an exceptional general meeting at the shareholders' meetings for Woolworth, and Woolworths took them to court to block that move. And so GetUp, they sort of expected that to happen and blew it into a huge media story, and then everybody knew that Woolies is really tied into pokies.
Yeah. So where is that sitting now at the moment?
They succeeded in getting their exceptional general meeting. The proposal was shot down there, but now all of the members of Woolworths are aware of it. It's definitely been discussed by the board. The public are more aware of it, and they're in a much stronger position to continue the campaign.
And what sort of petitions are we seeing now in Brisbane?
I know there's some local petitions on bikeways and things like that, but none that I'm too familiar with.
Okay, no worries.
Well, when we talk about online activism, we can't really ignore the Arab Spring and the role that online played there. And Fred and I were talking before the show about the United States going in covertly and providing internet to people in Egypt, Syria, Libya to try and foster this uprising. That really speaks to the power of online activism, doesn't it, Fred?
Absolutely. We saw organisations and governments setting up giant Wi-Fi networks projecting into the country so people could still get on Twitter and communicate with each other about where the rally was moving, where the police were moving, how to avoid, the troops that were basically throwing tear gas and stuff at protesters.
What are the worst possible outcomes we've seen from online campaigning? Has anyone ever been injured or death threats, for instance?
There's certainly been death threats thrown around with online campaigns, and because anybody can start a petition, there's sort of no limit to how good it is or how bad it is.
Yeah.
So how does an individual start their role in online activism?
Well, if you'd like to start a petition, you can go to a website like change.org. I know GetUp has one for Australia specifically as well, and you can just register and then create a petition yourself. And I definitely recommend the next step is work out exactly what you're going to do with that petition so that politicians will listen to it, and then the next steps after that as well.
What's the best way to get a polly's attention, do you think?
Go to his office. That's definitely a good way to get his attention. Petitions, if you deliver a petition to him and it's got a lot of people on it, they're going to notice that as well, especially if it's from their electorate.
Yeah, definitely. Because we did see that the recent petition about the power lines through Logan.
Absolutely.
That was actually quite current in the news last week. But we'll see how that one comes, and we'll keep you updated with that for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Fred. It's been great to talk about online activism. It's something we can all participate in, and something that's relevant to all of us, because when our voices are moving online, we can all be a part of it. So thanks for being here.
Thanks very much for having me.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll have more sports news, and you'll be seeing the lovely Connor once again. I know you've all been missing him. See you soon. Welcome back to News Lounge. If you've just joined us, we've been speaking with Fred Stark. He's the online and Queensland coordinator of the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, and we've been talking about the power of online activism.
That's right, Anna. It's really gotten me thinking about starting a petition. I'm not sure what I might start it with, but any ideas, guys? Beck?
Well, I think maybe we should start a petition to keep this show going, because we do finish next week, so it'd be fitting for our petition to keep the show going.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely. Get on board now.
Get on
That's a worthy
change.org for that
cause.
one. Change.org. We get everyone to sign that one.
We'll get a few million signatures on that one, I think.
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
Well, it's time now for Sports with Connor. What have you got for us, Connor?
Thanks, Anna. Well, first up, we are going to look at what our other sport reporter, Monica O'Halloran, did when she caught up with the Brisbane Lions at a training session last week. Here's the report.
Good morning, sports fans. Today I have a treat for all those AFL fans out there. I'm lucky enough to be sitting in on a training session for the Brisbane Lions, and I might even get to chat to a few of them. Let's check these fellas out. I'm here now with one of the vice captains of the Brisbane Lions, Tom Rockcliffe. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, Tom, how long have you been playing footy for?
Yeah, I've been with the Lions now coming up for my 5th year, so I was drafted at the end of 2008 and been up here for 4 and just about to embark on my 5th season.
Tell us, Tom, what position do you play?
Yeah, so I started as a sort of small forward and worked my way into the midfield and sort of rotate down forward and rest down there as well now.
And how many training sessions are you guys currently doing at the moment?
Currently we have about 3 on the training track and then a running session on a Saturday morning, but in saying that, we also do 2 or 3 weight sessions a week and different stuff throughout the week, either meetings and stuff like that. So it's a pretty full-on schedule.
Yep. And do you do any aqua sessions or anything like that?
As in the pool? And,
Yeah.
so a few of the boys do some cross sessions, and it depends, probably more the rehab blokes sort of get in the water, but throughout the season we're in the recovery. I think we do a session every Friday in the swimming pool.
Great. And do you have a favourite team that you like to verse?
I suppose probably the number one rival up here now is the Gold Coast, so you always sort of get yourself up for games like that. But in saying that, you look forward to every week, and going out there and trying to do your best and perform at the highest level.
Yep. And so you've had quite a long career in the football. Do you have a greatest achievement so far?
I suppose probably running out for your first game is always a great achievement, but obviously I won the best and fairest in 2011. That was a great achievement for me.
Fantastic. And do you have a favourite memory or something like that?
Again, probably the first game, running out in front of 60,000, 70,000 people down at the MCG, to have all my family there and all the support that they put in over the years was a good way to say thank you and have them there.
Great. Do you have any advice for future AFL players?
Probably the most important advice is to make sure you enjoy your footy and to go out there, and if you're not enjoying something that you do, then find something else that you do. But I'm sure that all the young footballers out there work hard, and it's about just putting your best foot forward and make sure you enjoy the sport.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Tom, and all the best in the 2013 season.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing a lot of Brisbane people out there to all our games this year.
Definitely, we'll all be there. Thanks again. Well, there you have it, News Loungers, a sneak peek into Brisbane's favourite AFL team. I'm going to go join the boys for a few kicks. Back to you in the studio.
Well, how good was that? Good to see Monica there. You can catch more of her on Thursday. In sport now, Queensland can claim another victory over New South Wales, winning by 30 runs over the weekend against the boys in blue in the Royby Cricket Cup at Manuka Oval in Canberra. Queensland comfortably took the win after New South Wales were 8 for 179 in the 37th over. Queensland paceman Cameron Grannon was key to the win after ripping through the New South Wales batting order. The Australian Rugby League Commission has confirmed on Sunday that Tim Sheens will serve as the Kangaroos coach in the 2013 Rugby League World Cup. Sheens, who replaced Ricky Stewart, has an impressive record of 1 defeat in 18 tests since taking the mantle in 2009. He aims to reclaim the World Cup after losing it in 2008 against the Kiwis. The Rugby League World Cup will take place during October and November next year in Europe. The Australian Wallabies have stunned the Welsh by scoring a miraculous try in the last minute to defeat Wales. Behind 12-9 and with Wales on the verge of victory, Kurtley Beale scored an impressive 20-metre try to send retiring star Nathan Sharp out with a fairy tale finish. The final score, 14-12, continued the 6-match losing streak of Wales and redeemed the Wallabies, who had several lacklustre matches prior to the game. The final race of the V8 Supercars Championship Series, Ford's Will Davison outraced his competitors by winning the Sydney 500. However, all eyes were on Championship Series winner Holden's Jamie Whincup. Whincup placed 5th in the race, accumulated enough points to win the series with 3,861 points. The victory solidifies Whincup's status as an all-time great, with 4 supercar titles, tying with Bob Jane and Jim Richards' records. Whincup is 1 championship away from equalling the all-time record set by Ian Gagan, Dick Johnson and Mark Scaife. After being almost at the brink of retirement, former Brisbane Lions player Jared Brennan has found a new lease on life upon joining the Gold Coast Suns. The 28-year-old was seen training at a 2-week high-altitude camp in Arizona, where it is reported that he was voted by his peers as the best performer in the US after a weak 2012 season. Brennan says he would have regretted quitting and didn't want to be seen as taking the easy way out. Libby Trickett has refused to let injury force her to quit the sport she loves. The triple Olympic swimmer is due to have surgery today to repair a ligament in her right hand. The surgery will keep Trickett out of the water for 3 months, forcing her to miss next year's national titles and world championships in July. But Trickett said she never considered quitting and is now even more determined to make it to Rio de Janeiro for the 2016 Olympics. The NRL remained under pressure to sack Courtney Olsen, a former fetish porn star who joined the Gold Coast Titans a fortnight ago as a strength and conditioning volunteer role. Olsen, who is the wife of Titans chief executive David May, says her porn star life is in the past. She's determined to rebuild her life after being raped at 17 and battling drug and alcohol abuse throughout her life. Although the NRL has strict regulations to uphold the image of the organisation, it currently sees no need to intervene. And that's all for sport. Certainly an interesting story there, that last one.
Absolutely. We don't often have fetish porn stars in the news here at News Lounge, but there's a first for everything.
That's exactly right.
I was actually really thrilled to see that Brisbane Lions story. I'm a big fan, boys.
Yeah.
Up the Lions.
Just as in, we've got I was going to say a hopeful wag, but unfortunately not. Miss Anna is, she's taken. Sorry.
Rats.
Sorry, guys, we just
What was
lost
I
half of our
thinking?
viewers there.
Well, I can step in there, of course, if need be. Just letting you guys know. I can step in.
What's
We've
that?
got
sure-
an understudy.
Connor might be interested as well, you never know.
In what?
The weather girl.
The weather girl might be interested in...
Being a wag.
Hag.
You don't even know
what
what
being
we're
a wag.
talking
I
about,
don't know the
Connor.
joke.
You just don't
Just
get
laugh
it.
at me.
Well, no, that was great. But the other thing I wanted to ask you too was Fruit Ninja. Quickly, tell me, what is it? I don't know. That was in the news today.
It's a great app. It's absolutely addictive. Basically, a little fruit come out of the bottom of your screen and you've got to slice it like a ninja sword. It's pretty straightforward, Anna, but extremely addictive.
Ninja in your fingers, basically.
Yeah. Finger
Well, I
ninja.
can't say your explanation has me enraptured, but maybe I'll have to give it,
You'll have to give it a go.
Seeing as it's Brisbane based, but that's all we have time for. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow where we'll be waxing Tom's leg. Goodbye.